As many of you know, I am a nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements in my practice. Don't use pharmaceutical drugs, don't like pharmaceutical drugs, never liked pharmaceutical drugs. Even in pharmacy school, I never quite understood what the logic was to poisoning the body in order to heal the body. I use nutritional supplements in my practice, and I use nutritional supplements with great results. And we're here to share the information with you. I read an interesting article yesterday. It was published in the Journal of the Public Library of Science, PLOS One they call it. It discussed diabetes, according to the article, which described a study of diabetic women. Blood vessel damage and other signs of blood sugar-induced damage to the body can occur long before the blood glucose test officially proclaims you a diabetic. This is so important. It's something I've been talking about for almost 20 years. You don't need a blood sugar test to tell you that your body is being damaged by sugar. By the time a blood sugar test tells you you've got blood sugar problems, the damage has already started to occur. If you're starting to gain weight, if you're getting a little gut, if you're a man, or you're starting to gain a little fat on your hips if you're a woman, if you're getting high blood pressure, if you notice you feel tired after you eat a meal, chances are pretty darn good that your blood sugar is starting to get out of whack. This is called dysglycemia. That's medical talk for messed up blood sugar. One of the classic signs of blood sugar disease, elevated blood sugar or insulin resistance, is eye problems, glaucoma, macular degeneration, cataracts. These all have important connections to messed up blood sugar or dysglycemia. According to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, nearly 22 million Americans have cataracts and millions more people have glaucoma, macular degeneration, retinopathies. And when you think about it, it's pretty amazing that eye disease aren't even more common. The eyes are subjected to lots of high-energy rays from the sun, specifically what we call ultraviolet rays, and making sure you're keeping your eyes strong and healthy is of the utmost importance if you want to keep your vision crisp and clear and avoid the tragic consequences of eye diseases, including blindness. And make no mistake about it, diabetes and blindness are intimately related. In fact, the leading cause of blindness is diabetes. Light from the sun streams down to Earth and ultimately to our eyes in little tiny particles called photons, little pieces of light. Photon energy is super high energy, and it can interact with the body and especially delicate tissues like the eyes with tremendous energetic force. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that has to endure more ultraviolet energy or radiation than the living things that live on the surface of the ocean. The ocean can be thought of as a sink pool for this ultraviolet radiation. Ocean water is like a powerful light magnet. It attracts light, and that means that the stuff that's living on the ocean surface is at especially high risk of being destroyed unless these living organisms have protective mechanisms, which of course they do. Seaweeds, or plant plankton, or technically phytoplankton, and these things, these seaweeds, these phytoplankton, have an ability to access and metabolize and in essence work with and on what is the most intensely energetic real estate on the planet, that is the ocean. They're absolutely loaded. Seaweeds are absolutely loaded, packed with energy metabolizing and processing and storing materials. They're packed with life force. And in order to utilize this sun energy, they've got to have all kinds of particles that we call nutrition. Amino acids, essential fatty acids, enzymes, absorbable minerals. These are all found in seaweeds. Seaweeds are the ultimate complete food. Anytime you have an opportunity to eat phytoplankton, to eat seaweed, you want to do it. One of the most important components of seaweeds are the antioxidants. Seaweeds, or algae, or whatever you want to call them, they're out in the sun. They get lots of sun. In fact, they depend on the sun for their existence. They basically trap sun energy. They're like the Earth's solar panels, and they've got lots of these, antioxidants that help protect the seaweeds from all of this photonic energy. They also have to protect themselves from oxygen, which they're constantly producing. Thus, they're loaded, they're packed with antioxidant nutrients. They're also packed with what we call long-chain sugars, or polysaccharides. These polysaccharides aren't sweet. They're sugars, but they're not sweet. And these polysaccharides help protect the algae and the seaweeds from the effects of the photonic energy from the sun. All this is to say that you get lots and lots of health benefits from seaweed. And you get lots and lots of health benefits from seaweed supplements, and that's why I love Longevity's Fucoidan Z and Z Radical. Fucoidan, which is the key ingredient in the Fucoidan Z, is one of these long-chain sugars, and it's got tremendous health benefits, lots of different health benefits. The scientific research on the health benefits of Fucoidan Z and Z Radical is absolutely mind-blowing. I absolutely love this stuff. And not only is it Not only does the fucoidan Z help protect the seaweed, but the fucoidan Z, when you eat the seaweed, when you eat the fucoidan Z, it can help protect your eyes from the sun energy. It can help protect your skin from the sun energy. It can help protect against the formation of wrinkles and dark spots and other signs of photoaging. It's got wonderful anti-cancer properties. Fucoidan Z is a blood thinner. It can detoxify heavy metals, and it's got anti-diabetic and anti-obesity properties too. And that means weight loss, and that means better blood pressure, and of course that also means protection for your eyes. That's a lot of benefits from one supplement, you guys. It's not expensive. If you add it to your Healthy Start Pack and you qualify with it every month and add it to your Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients, you're going to be protecting your eyes, you're going to be protecting your blood, you're going to be supporting your immune system, and you're going to be protecting yourself against diabetes. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program. Our number today, 831-685-1080, 831-685-1080. Our priority line number is 888-379-2552, 888-379-2552. We'll get your phone calls here in a little bit. If you got questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, we want to hear from you. We're going to take a break and come back with more good health information on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. Don't go away. I'll be sitting in for the next 45 minutes or so with my good friend and colleague, Douglas Winfrey. What is up, Doug?
Oh, great to have you on again. I got this story from naturalnews.com, and it headlines, How to Kill Candida and Balance Your Intestinal Flora. Say it's common and totally normal to have too much candida in your body. Say if you experience this problem again and again, as most people do, here are some ways you can balance out your gut flora. Balancing the flora will alleviate many health issues, even little annoying ones you thought that you were stuck with for the rest of your life, such as itchy ear canals, body odor, and eczema. They say garlic is an antifungal, antiparasitic, and antibacterial, as well as an antiviral. It also helps to host a host of other issues, including the removal of toxins from the body. A little farther down, they say, don't use garlic from China, even if it's organic. One way to tell is those smaller, bright white garlic bulbs are almost always grown in China. Their soil is just too toxic. And let's see, essential oils. Oil of oregano is antifungal, antibacterial, antiparasitic properties can be taken in tablet form as well. Other essential oils that kill candida include lavender, clover, tea tree, peppermint. And they say it doesn't recommend taking those internally, but I would say that the Ancient Legacy line, you can at least do the peppermint internally in small doses. It's really good for, upset stomach. Oils, they say coconut oil is an antibacterial, antifungal, and antiparasitic properties. Other notable items are known to combat fungus include wormwood, black walnut hull, Spanish black radish, golden seal, Coptis chinesis, ginger, cinnamon, and olive leaf extract. So there you go. It's a way to get all the crud out of your body.
You know what? You know what my favorite way to clean out candida is? Nobody ever talks about this. The sweeties.
Really?
Yeah, you know why? Candida loves sugar. And the sweeties is a sugar cleansing supplement. If you have diabetes, man, if you got blood sugar issues, and most of us do, Doug, you know most people have blood sugar issues. Whether you're diagnosed,
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, whether you're diagnosed as a diabetic or not. If you're over the age of 40 or 50, you can pretty much rest assured if you're subsisting on anything that's even close to the standard American diet that you got blood sugar issues and you want to be using the sweeties. And we don't talk about that. It's not part of the Mighty 90, it's not part of the Healthy Start Pack, I should say. It's not like a absolutely must-have the way the Healthy Start Pack nutrients are. But if you got any blood sugar issues, and most of us do, you'd be really well advised to get yourself on that Sweeties product after all meals, as well as the Z-Radical. And both of those, because they help stabilize sugar and clean the sugar out of the blood, they can also help you with candida. You want to think of candida. When you think of candida, you want to think of two things. Number one, probiotics and bacteria, because there's this balance. Do you know this, Doug? Have we talked about this? There's a balance between bacteria in the gut and yeast. They live in this kind of symbiotic, balanced relationship.
And I would say that most Americans probably have an imbalance in that because we're eating so many foods that have, meats that have antibiotics in it and all kinds of stuff.
Built in.
Yeah, it's built into
them,
the food,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fish too. Fish are swimming in antibiotic-laden waters, and then we take
at least the farm-raised ones.
No, not even. Even the ones that are out in the rivers, and
What about the ones out in the ocean?
Deep in the ocean, probably less, but parts
like
of the ocean.
Like in Alaska.
Yeah, if you go up north, probably, or the North Sea kind of thing. But there's drugs in the water, in the ocean water. We have been trashing our planet for centuries, and the last couple hundred years, the last 100 years, where do you think the drugs go when you after you're done with them and they excrete out of your body? They go in the water supply, and they don't get filtered. A lot of them don't get filtered. You know, when you take your birth control pills, you take your antibiotics, you take your antihypertensives, if they go through your body, you flush them down the toilet and they go into the water supply, and the animals that live in the water, the fish that live in the water, end up getting those antibiotics and antihypertensives, and then we do when we eat them. You can't get away from the food chain. Everything is a big circle. You put it out in the environment, you put it in the water, you're going to end up, on some level, it's going to end up coming back to you. You know, there's fish and frogs being born with hermaphroditic, with dual sex organs. Yeah, that's the kind of culture we've created. But you know what? Getting yourself on a nutritional supplement program can be one of the best insurance plans you have to protect yourself from this toxicity. All right, hang tight. We'll continue this when we come back from our break. 831-685-1080 is your priority line number. 888-379-2552 toll free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. We'll be back after this. All right, we're back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. Thanks for joining us. 831-685-1080 is your priority line number, or 888-379-2552 toll free. If you've got questions, comments, success stories, you want help with the longevity products, if you've got concerns about formulations, we can help you. Skincare, too. I've been doing skincare for many years, as some of you guys know. Whenever I go on the program, I always collect a bunch of news stories. Douglas, I got a whole bunch of them here. Intestinal barrier damage and multiple sclerosis. Glutathione, the body's major antioxidant, has been discovered in brown algae, Fucoidan. I love that Fucoidan Z product.
Yeah, I've got some going right now.
The Fucoidan Z?
Yeah,
I do it every day,
I put that in with my Beyond Tangy Tangerine.
You know, you can break open one of those capsules and it makes a great healing skin mask. You can put it right on cuts and scrapes.
Oh, really?
There's an ingredient in there called beta-glucan, which I've been using for many years in the skincare business, and you can get natural beta-glucan right out of the seaweed. There's a lot of literature that talks about using chitin and chitosan in combination with seaweed sugars in order to accelerate healing. But I want to, maybe we talk about that Joan Rivers thing. You know, when I read that story about Joan Rivers and she's in a coma after so-called routine surgery, you know, the first thing I thought of as a healthcare professional and as a pharmacist who's worked in hospitals in the past is, Doug, there's no such thing as a routine surgery. That's an oxymoron. Surgery is not routine. Anytime you get cut open, anytime they hack into you in any way, shape, or form, the body perceives that as a major emergency. Doug, do you think your body knows the difference between being eaten by a tiger and having a surgical procedure done?
No, I would think your body says something, great white shark's got a hold of me.
Yes, exactly. You know, and so if your doctor's telling you, well, it's just routine, you know, we do these surgeries all the time, we take gallbladders out all the time, you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't happen. There's no routine surgeries, and poor Joan Rivers, the family of Joan Rivers, learned that the hard way. You know, I guarantee you she wasn't on a nutritional supplement program either. You guys, if you want to stay out of the doctor's office, if you want to stay out of the operating room, you got to get yourself on the Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients. You have to get yourself on the Healthy Start Pack. It's the best insurance policy there is. Healthcare costs are going up and up and up. And you know what? It used to be that your doctor worked for you. You know, do you remember those days, Doug, when the doctors would do house calls and you would go into the doctor and he cared about you and he worked for you?
I never remember a doctor coming to my house.
Well, I remember when I was a kid. I'm a little older than you. Maybe not. I don't think I'm older than you. But I remember doctors with their bags coming over to the house. And I remember when you could go to the doctor, and only not long ago, maybe 25, 30 years ago, you'd go to the doctor and the doctor worked for you. You paid the doctor and he worked for you. Who does the doctor work for these days? He works for Kaiser. He works for the HMO. He works for the corporation that runs the hospital, that runs the facility that he works at. He doesn't work for you. He care less about you. And that's why when you get a prescription, by the way, the doctor doesn't pick the prescription based on your needs. He picks the prescription based on the formulary. He picks the prescription based on a menu that he's been given by the corporation bean counters. That's the healthcare we got going on. And it's only going to get worse. How do you protect yourself from having to interface with this insidious, nasty, modern medical model that's getting more and more pervasive and stronger every day? How do you protect yourself? By eating correctly, by eating less, by avoiding the corporate swill the crappy corporate food, the crappy corporate food-like substance that pretends to be food. And by deep breathing, sitting on the couch and practicing your deep breathing protocols, your deep breathing practices, and of course, getting on the Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients, the Healthy Start Pack that Dr. Wallach designed. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. 831-685-1080 is your priority line number. 888-379-2552. Toll free. We're coming back with more good health information and your phone calls right after this. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to y'all. We'll try to get to all your calls before the hour's up, and we'll start when we come back from our break. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll be back after this. Let's see who's first in line, Douglas.
All right, let's head to California. And Sylvia, you're on with Dr. Wallach, or Pharmacist Ben.
What's up, Sylvia? How's your mother? Just kidding. That was a joke.
She's dead. I'm sorry to say that.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, I was struck with cancer at 27, and they removed my thyroid and 2 parathyroids. And so I've always been messed up ever since then.
Okay.
I am currently on kidney dialysis.
Okay.
And I have an extreme amount of edema. Every time I get off of dialysis, my legs swell.
Okay. All right. I don't need to hear any more of the grim details. I wish you called me maybe 10 years earlier, because we could have helped you out. But we're going to start right now, Sylvia. Can I ask you how old you are, just approximately?
I'm 58.
Okay, you're a young woman, Sylvia, so we can turn this thing around. Here's the deal: you don't have a couple of major important glands, especially the thyroid and the parathyroid too. And obviously, you got some blood problems and some kidney problems. Kidney problems are basically a sign of dirty blood, and with the thyroid out, it's very difficult for the blood to cleanse itself, for the blood to circulate correctly. So here's the bottom line, my dear: you got to treat your body with tender, loving care. Your body, we all have to treat our bodies with tender, loving care, but you especially. Your body has been through the war, if you will. Okay, your body has been through the grinder, and we got to take care of that body like you take care of a traumatized baby. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so first and foremost, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stay away from any foods that give you any digestive distress. Anything: heartburn, gas, bloating, flatulence, diarrhea, constipation, anything. Stay away from those like the plague. Avoid them entirely. Now, I usually say to people, you don't have to worry about zero tolerance. You can have a little bit here and there, but in your case, no. You got to stay away from those. Then you got to start to protect your gut, especially with the good bacteria. I'd be using the probiotics, the Biolumin Nightly Essence. I'd get on them today. I wouldn't wait a minute. Call your longevity rep today. Get on the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 3 in the morning, 3 at night. Start taking the Fucoidan Z, which is almost like a panacea, but it's especially important for blood issues. And that's the Fucoidan Z. Those are the seaweed capsules that I was talking about earlier, the Fucoidan capsules that I was talking about at the beginning of the program. Make absolutely certain you're on the Healthy Start Pack and don't miss a day. Sip on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine all day long. If you want to throw in a couple other things, you might be smarter for you to add the sweeties in there, because you probably got some messed up blood sugar as well. So you got one last thing I should tell you: don't underestimate the power of oxygenation and breathing. If you have a smartphone, you can get an application called My Calm Beat or Bio Breathing, and you can sit on the couch and you can practice your deep breathing. I know I say it all the time, but when the body's been traumatized, and for 40 years, as it has been in your case, you got to take extra pains, extra care to make sure that you're doing absolutely everything to treat your body kindly and with love. And you know what else, my dear? You can even talk to your body. Think of your body as a traumatized baby, as a baby that's just been through the war, and it's shell-shocked. They used to call it shell shock. Now they call it post-traumatic stress syndrome. But whatever it is, that's what your body's experiencing. So treat your body with tender, loving care by staying away from problem foods, getting on the Biolumin Nightly Essence, getting on the Z-Radical, being on the Healthy Start Pack, and sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If you want to throw one more thing in, you could throw in the sweeties from Longevity. And then also, don't forget about your deep, slow breathing. Slowly is important. Slow breathing tells the body that all is okay. Make sense, ma'am?
Yes, and I've been on the longevity products for about 8 months now. And I see a big world of
Praise God. Praise God. You stay on there. Thank you so much for calling. Good luck and God bless you with everything, Sylvia. Thanks for your call. All right, we're going to take a break. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Doc today. 831-685-1080 is your priority line number. 888-379-2552. Toll free. We're coming back with more phone calls and more good health information on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program right after this. Who's next on the line, Douglas?
Oh, stay right there in California and head over to Paul. You're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
What's up, Paul?
Okay, no problem.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hello?
How you doing?
Are you asking for Paul?
Sir, Paul. What's up, my friend? How can we help you?
My name is Paul, and I am 90 years old. I bought one mighty 90 nutrient supplement for myself and one for my daughter-in-law who was pregnant with 2 babies.
Okay.
I have one problem of constant flow of mucus post-nasal flow.
Okay. For you?
I have had this problem for 90 years.
Oh, my goodness.
not-
Nobody's helped you. I'm going to help you right now. I wish you called me 90 years ago. Well, I wasn't around, but in any case, here's the deal, my friend, and this is for everybody listening. Mucus is a sign of a defensive response. See, the body has a defense department. Just like countries have a defense department, the body has a defense department. Mucus is part of the defense department. One of the ways the body protects itself from allergens and from toxins and from bacteria and from invaders and from pathogens is by sliming them. Just like in the movie Ghostbusters. Remember how they slime the ghost? Well, guess what? Mucus is the body's version of slime. And we slime things away. And anytime you've got an accumulation of slime, i.e. mucus, you have the manifestation of a defensive response. Does that make sense so far? Because I'm going to tell you a few more things, Paul, but I want to make sure that makes sense. Mucus is a defensive response, okay? Paul, you with me? Okay, so when you have a defensive response, logic dictates, and this is only logic here, this isn't highfalutin science or technology, it's logic. When you have a defensive response, logic dictates you ask, what's the offending agent? Okay, something is offending the body and it's initiating or sparking a defensive response. So what's the offending agent? Well, you see, offending agents have to get inside the body to spark a defensive response. And in order for that to happen, they got to either go through the skin, they got to go through the nose, or they got to go through the mouth. Now, considering your skin stays intact and solid and it's a barrier, it's pretty difficult to get things through the skin unless, of course, you inject them. You can get things through the nose, but the nose has also got a lot of hairs and a lot of filtering systems. So, while you can get things through the nose that will cause mucus, usually it'll only happen in the nose or in the respiratory tract or in the sinuses. And if you have sinus mucus, you could be breathing something in, certainly. But by far and away, the most likely place where offending agents get into the body to initiate mucus or a defensive response is through foods. And Paul, if you're just like a normal person, you sound like a normal person, you've probably been eating the wrong foods for 90 years. All right, now it's never too late because you can turn this thing around, but here's what you need to do. Number one, every time you get snotty or mucusy or thick or you have that kind of feeling, look back or keep track of what you ate a couple hours, 3 hours before, 2, 3, 4 hours before. It would help you if you wrote them down. Wrote all your foods down or wrote your mucus, your symptoms down, and then wrote what you ate down. And then keep a running tab. And over the course of a couple of weeks, you're going to notice that every time you have food A, you get mucusy. Food B, you get mucusy. Usually it has something to do with dairy or grains. Could be anything, though. But usually it's dairy or grains are the stars of the mucus show, if you will. And the second thing you want to do is you want to start to protect your digestive tract using nutritional supplementation. The Z radical, the fucoidan Z, coat and soothe the digestive tract. The sugars from the Z radical and the fucoidan Z, not sweet sugars, but long-chain sugars, polysaccharides, stimulate growth and stimulate healing. There's lots of sulfur in the fucoidan Z, and that sulfur is very important for building and healing the digestive tract as well. Then you want to make sure you're on the Biolumin Nightly Essence. Take 3 capsules in the morning, 3 at night. And if you're not already, it sounds like you may be already, but if you're not already, get on that Healthy Start Pack. And if you want to do one more thing, explore or experiment with the Jordan Rubin Beyond Organic products. I absolutely love these things. The Suero V and the Amasai are especially nice, and also the probiotic enriched cheese, artisan cheddar cheese, is delicious. It's probiotic enriched, and also it's made from cows, grass-fed organic cattle that are high, who produce milk that's high and rich in omega fats that you can't really get from regular dairy. So got lots of things to do there, Paul, but most especially you want to focus on your digestive health and consider that mucus to be a sign that the body is defending itself from something. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it, Paul. And good luck and congratulations. 90 years old. That's awesome. We'll get you going another 40 or 50 years if you follow our advice here. All right. Who's next on the line, Douglas?
All right, let's head to Washington State. And Cindy, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
What's up, Cindy?
I'm calling about my son today. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay.
He's 28, and he just had a vasectomy 3 months ago.
Okay.
And he has not been able to work. He can't put his legs together. He can't run, nothing.
You know what, sweetheart? I'm having a hard time hearing you. Are you on a speaker?
Okay. Well, let me take my headset off.
Take your headset off.
Can you hear me better?
Much better. You said your son had a vasectomy.
3 months ago. He's
Okay.
still not able to go to work.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good.
It
There's
is
some
getting
inflammation.
some better.
Okay, well, it's a very sensitive procedure, but it usually doesn't take that long. Here's the deal. He's probably got he's being seen by the doctor, no?
Yeah, and he went in for a second opinion because he's in so much pain, and there's definitely
not good.
Blood there.
Let's get him on some anti-inflammatories. We got to do the anti-inflammatory thing, okay? Lots of things you could do. Get him on the Cell Shield #1. Have him doing vegetable juices #2. Vegetable juices and the Cell Shield also contain something called flavonoids. I don't know if you ever heard of this term. Some people call them bioflavonoids. And bioflavonoids and flavonoids are tremendously anti-inflammatory. Very, 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 very anti-inflammatory, and that can help him. We're going to go the anti-inflammatory route here. If he's got any digestive issues, he needs to bail on foods that cause any digestive problems because that'll also exacerbate inflammatory problems. The Z Radical can help him, or the Fucoid Z, I should say. The Fucoid Z, 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night. Of course, the Healthy Start Pack goes without saying, and you might want to double up on the Ultimate Essential Fatty Acids. Essential fatty acids can also be helpful for inflammatory issues. And then last but most certainly not least, if you want to really work on the digestive system, make sure he's using the probiotics, the BioLumin Nightly Essence, as well as the probiotic-enriched products from Jordan Rubin. Let me think if there's anything else. Oh, the CM capsules. Those are very anti-inflammatory as well. Make sure he's using a couple of the CM capsules every day, 2 or 3 CM capsules every day. That might be helpful too. Okay, and he should definitely be getting better quickly.
Now, how does it matter how big he is or how much he weighs or anything as far as how much he takes?
Yeah, is he a big guy?
Well, he's 5'11", he's 225 pounds.
He can take a little extra. He's not huge or anything. The dose is usually for a 170 to 200 pound person, but he can go a little higher, especially the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. He can take more of that. Sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, by the way, is the way to go. Sipping on it. Sip, 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 sip. One last thing. Vitamin E's got some nice anti-inflammatory properties. If you want to throw in 400 international units of vitamin E a day, that might be helpful too. All right. Got to move. Thanks so much. Oh, you have something else?
Well, I was just going to say we're not on any of the products. I just heard about them. So we haven't. I just barely signed up.
Are you serious? Get on the products. Call your longevity rep. Get on the products. It'll change your life. I'm not kidding you. I've been doing this 17 years. I've been working with Dr. Wallach's products for 17 years. I've been taking Dr. Wallach's products for 17 years. I've been recommending them. I'm seeing the results. I'm telling you, this is the real deal. I'm a registered pharmacist. I'm a healthcare professional. I'm telling you, this is the real deal, and you will change your life. Get on it. I'll tell you what, why don't you get on it and send me an email, ben@ksco.com, and tell me what, if you'll do that, and I'll use your letter because I know you're going to get great results. I'll use your letter as a testimonial, and I will send you out a free Beyond Tangy Tangerine on me. How's that? So that's ben@ksco.com, by the way. All right. We got one more segment to talk to you on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552. Toll free. I'm Pharmacist Ben along with Doug Winfrey. We'll be back right after this. All right, we are back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Got one more segment to talk to you. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey. Who's next on the line?
Let's head out to Kansas. And Sue, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
What's up, Sue?
Oh, Mrs. Fuchs. Yes, I have a couple questions. I want to get maximum absorption out of these vitamins, so I want to know about phytates.
Oh, you want to know about phytates. Don't take your vitamin.
Yeah, I want to know what nuts especially. I was told coffee and beans and rice and some nuts.
Do you want to hear something funny about phytates that nobody talks about? Do you know phytates are actually partially a vitamin?
Yeah.
Did you know? They're actually a vitamin. Nobody talks about that. They're a type of vitamin anyway. They're related to an anti-cancer.
Do they drag your vitamins out of your system?
Yeah, they'll drag minerals out. They're not going to necessarily drag vitamins out, but they'll drag minerals out. They're like an anti-nutrient in that way. So what you want to do is you want to take, if you're going to eat, and phytates are found in grains and legumes, beans and nuts and seeds and such. And if you want to get the benefits of your nutrients, you want to take your minerals without food. You want to take your minerals without food that contains phytates, grains, nuts, legumes, seeds,
How
etc.
long before you eat?
That's a tough question. What they call stomach emptying time is 6 to 8 hours. So if you really want to do it right, wait 8 hours. There's no real way to know. But you know what, my dear? If you do the liquid minerals, you're doing the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Healthy Start Pack, and you're getting your minerals in a liquid format, it's not going to be the end of the world if you have some phytates a couple hours before you do your BTT or you do your minerals. You may not get 100% maximum absorption, but you're going to get enough absorption. If you want to do it absolutely correctly, like you don't want to take any chances, wait 6 or 7 hours before you eat any grains or seeds or phytate-containing foods to take your nutrients, because phytates indeed can bind up certain minerals. That's a very good point. Is that helpful? Did you have something else, ma'am?
Do almonds have phytates?
Yes, absolutely. All nuts do.
Okay,
all
now
nuts
what about,
do.
I need to know, what is this gluco you've been talking about it the whole day?
The sweeties?
Not Z-radical, but glucotin Z? Is that what you call it?
Fucoidan Z. Let me spell it for you.
It?
Yeah, let me tell you about that, because I'm glad you asked that. It's spelled F as in Frank, U as in Uncle, C as in Cat, O as in Oscar, I as in Igloo, D as in David, I as in Igloo, N as in Nancy. Fucoidan. It's a long-chain sugar that contains little pieces of something called fucose, F-U-C-O-S-E. And fucose and fucoidan have tremendous, I mean mind-blowing, absolutely incredible health benefits. First of all, you could live on algae and seaweed alone. But as far as a nutritional supplement goes, it's very difficult to find one that's more multifunctional and more effective than the fucoidan Z or the Z-radical. Now, for many years, I've been talking about the Z-radical. The Z-radical is a liquid form. It contains some fruit juice. It's sweet. And I was talking to Dr. Wallach a couple of weeks ago, and he's saying, he's telling me, and he's raised a very good point, and I don't know why I didn't think of it. The fucoidan Z is the concentrated active ingredient that's in the Z-radical. So I've been talking lately about the fucoidan Z, and in fact, you get more bang for your buck with the fucoidan Z. You get more of the good stuff. So I've been recommending the fucoidan Z for diabetes, anti-obesity, cancer, blood thinning. In fact, I would go so far as to say the fucoidan Z is just a nice supplement to have every day. It's not part of the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, but it has so much, it provides the body with so many different health benefits that it really is worthwhile to use it as almost like a tonic. Not in the sense it'll give you energy, but in the sense it'll cover almost every it'll improve the health of almost every biological system in your body. Okay?
That's good.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
God bless.
You too.
Good to talk to you.
Love
Let's see if we get one more call in, Doug.
We've only got about 30 seconds here.
Oh, that's too bad. All right. Well, I enjoyed being here. Thanks for inviting me, Douglas. And thank you to all our listeners. I appreciate all you guys. Listen, if you're thinking, if you're on the wagon, if you're just tuned in and you're like on the fence, you're not sure if you want to do the longevity business, you want to buy the longevity products, give it a shot. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your friends and family and everybody who cares about you and everybody who loves you to at least be open-minded enough to experiment with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If you're like most folks, you're going to notice appetite suppression, weight loss, lower blood pressure. If you're on medication, you're going to notice that you can wean yourself off the meds. And that is just with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. But if you get on the Healthy Start Pack, and if you get on the Z-Radical and the Fucoidan Z, and you start to use the probiotics, the Biolumin Nightly Essence and the probiotic enriched cheese, folks, you will change your life. And if you want to do a longevity business, you will have a business that will change people's lives as well, and you'll make some money too. All right, that's all the time we have for today. For Doug Winfrey, for Doc Wallach, for all the folks at the ZBS Radio Network, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a wonderful, spectacular, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.